kind of like going to Sam's versus Walmart. When you go to Sam's, you're going to spend a whole lot more money. But if you can afford to spend the money up front. Well, good morning, guys. Welcome back to Papaw's place. Guys, it's time for me to give my garden here another shot of fertilizer. And I thought I'd take the time this time to show my upgraded drip irrigation fertilizer injector that I again made modifications to this winter, and now I think I got it set up the way I want it. Now last year, y'all know I had just a 5-gallon bucket, and I tried the Ventura the first time. Well, unless you got a whole big old garden with a lot of outflow, the Ventura don't work. And then I done a video on one that I said I guaranteed to work on any drip tape. I don't care if you didn't have but one emitter out there. And I was using a little bitty fuel pump, a cheap fuel pump, and it worked great all summer long. But when I got to the end of the summer, even though I flushed it out, I guess that inside of that little fuel pump rusted or something, and it quit working. So instead of getting another little fuel pump, you could get one $10 off Amazon. I went on and upgraded. I got this is a little 5-gallon. It's one of these little sprayers you put on a side-by-side or UTV or on your lawnmower. It comes with the little mower, and it had the spray one. I'll pop a picture up here of the brand because the sticker doesn't come off, and I don't rightly remember what brand. It's just a cheap one because all I was wanting is the tank and the motor. And then from the motor, I hooked it in, which you don't need the Ventura here, but that just made a good connection piece here since I already had my valve system set up. Another thing I done this year is I added a water filter. Now this is a water filter like goes on water hoses for your RVs and such. And it'll filter out all your chlorine and stuff out of your, we call city water. It's not city water, but it's not well water. Get all your chlorine and stuff out of your water. It runs off a 12-volt battery, and this was the old battery out of my side-by-side. Was getting to where it wouldn't stay charged, but I got this set up on a solar panel charger, so it keeps this little battery charged, even though it's not a new battery, and it's been working great. But what I do, I got a mixing tank over here. I mix up this whole tank full and stick the hose in here, fill this tank up, or I get it about halfway, and then I'll start injecting my fertilizer in the garden. And then I can set my timer here for 3 hours, and I can adjust the flow of it, how fast it injects it, which I inject all of mine in there, and I'm going to explain that in a moment, my theory on that. And I inject that whole tank in my little in-ground garden out here. I think that's a trash can, what that made out of. I don't know if that's a 30-gallon. I would guess that's about a 30-gallon trash can, give or take. But what I like about this setup is when I just want filtered water to mix for my just hydroponic buckets, if y'all seen them on my gardening videos, all I gotta do is turn the valve right here. If I want to suck fertilize, I turn the water coming in off, and I can just pump straight fertilizer, or I can open this valve and mix water with it. But we're gonna get to that in a moment, because I'm gonna show y'all what I mix up and how this works. So this is my mixing tank, and today I'm gonna be mixing up the blue stuff. And guys, there's cheaper ways to buy that blue stuff. I got to watching them commercial farmers, and I'm like, I know they don't buy that little bitty bags of stuff and paying that price for it. It ain't no way they could afford to do that. And I'd been injecting the master blend, which is what I was using in my hydroponic buckets. And I also got some of this in 2020, but today we're going to be injecting 10, 30, 20. And the reason I'm doing that, I'm wanting to see more blooms coming on than I'm seeing. So I got my little tester right here. And as y'all see, this is where I'm talking about how easy it is with my valves. I just turned my timer all the way to 3 hours for right now. I can turn the water on. And for right now, it's coming out this hose because I'm going to mix in this barrel. Now I'm going to go on and start putting some water in here. This is filtered water, so it's filtering the chlorine out of it. I wanted to start doing that and see if I could tell any difference. But now I ain't had to do no watering this year. We've been getting too much water. Matter of fact, it's been a rain this season, but I need to get some fertilizer. It's time for me to get some fertilizer. But I just dumped. I'm going to start dumping. I'm going to say about a cup full of this 10, 30, 20. And I got a little stick I keep here to stir it up with. Now when I'm doing this for my hydroponic buckets, I try to get it about 2.0 to 2.5 on the EC with my little tester. But since this is going into the soil, and then I'm going to run some water behind it to flush my lines out, it's going to dilute it down so I don't get carried away what the EC is. I don't care if it's a little stronger. So I take my little EC tester right here, and I'm going to start testing this to see. See, right now it's way high. It's up there on about 7. By the time it fills up, that's going to be enough. It's still going to be over 2. But like I said, this is going in the ground, so I don't mind it being stouter. But also I can check the pH of my water, and I had some stuff to where I could make it a little more acidic, but it's close enough. I just been going with what my water system's got here. Yeah, this is, when this gets full, it's going to be down there to about 4, and that's going to be good enough. And that's 1 cup, about 1 cup of this blue stuff I'm using. So while this is finished filling it up with water, the blue stuff I'm using is the same. This is my theory on this. I don't care where you buy it from. It's just bagged in different packages with their marketing sales on it. You got Miracle Grow. A lot of theirs is the blue stuff. You can get it in different NPKs. I ain't gonna name who all, but they package it up and they making big money off of it. What I come across, and I'm gonna pop a picture up here, is Peter's. You can buy a 40 or 50 pound bag, and you can get it in different NPKs. I think when I bought mine, it was around $50 for that big old bag. Well, that big old bag, if you go buy it in them little old bitty bags they sell it in, you'd end up spending $250 to get that 40 or 50 pound bag. But I'll pop a picture up here, and then y'all can look that up. Also, by me watching some of the big produce farmers, greenhouse farmers this year, I've come up with some, you can buy, it's like that, you're going to pay a higher price up front, but you're going to get way more in the end for the money you spend. And spinosad is the same way. Next time I do a spraying, I'm going to show y'all something that I've come across and I've purchased and been using this year. Yeah, you pay for more up front, but it's in the long run, it's going to be $100 or $200 cheaper than buying them little $25 bottles at a time that you have to mix way stouter anyway. But that's going to be on another video, so you need to hit that subscribe down there. It don't cost you a thing. Hit that notification bell, because that's the kind of stuff I like to try to put out there to the public, is ways to save them money that a lot of people don't think about. Kind of like going to Sam's versus Walmart. When you go to Sam's, you're going to spend a whole lot more money. But if you can afford to spend the money up front, you're going to get a whole lot more for your money that's going to last you. This bag should last me a couple years. So now I'm going to open this valve and start filling my tank up down there, because this is right before being topped to the top. While that's filling up, this is something that I think a lot of people make mistakes when they injecting the fertilizer through their drip irrigation. You don't start injecting your fertilizer right off the bat. Turn your water on, and see, all I gotta do is turn valves. Now I'm shooting water into my drip irrigation lines and getting them all full. I've seen some people, they immediately turn on and start injecting their fertilizer. To me, when you do that, it's going to go to the least restricted place. So what does that mean? If you got a header line 50 foot long, mine's about 30 foot long, and I got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines, drip lines running off of it. All of that fertilizer is going to go to the least restricted, which is going to be the end of that header line and down that end drip tape first. So when they using them little old bitty injectors that only hold like a gallon or 2 gallons, and they turn on their drip tape, well, to me, all their fertilizer is going to the least restricted row until the line gets full, and then it'll start distributing it out. Now I understand them type injectors is mixing water with the fertilizer, so it ain't as bad as what I just made it sound. As if I turned mine on and it was just sucking this out, it would all go to the first line, the least restricted line. So now I can hear my water's done stopped. It's done slowed down. It's done filled all my lines. So at this point, I'm going to turn the water off, because I want to inject all of this without water, because I got this diluted down. And I ain't wanting over water, because we just got rain 2 days ago and got more rain coming after a while. So all I'm going to do, I ain't got a switch hooked here. Just hook my wire to my battery. Turn this valve right here on. And now it is injecting just my fertilizer. And I'm going to have to slow this valve right here down so it won't overrun this. This will be filling this up about the same speed it's injecting out. You hear the pump changing? Watch this when I turn it off. See, the pump goes off. So it's with a pump like that, it's gonna keep pumping. You turn it off, it's gonna stop. It ain't gonna blow your emitters off, which, because I have a where my filter goes into my injector line has a pressure reducer valve, which anybody that puts in drip irrigation, you need to do that anyway. So I just turn it on, and then I go on about my business. I kind of look over here, and I want this to kind of stay right there. I want it to be pumping out of here at the same speed it's putting in there, and not overfill this or not let it suck down too low. And I just go on about my business in my garden and doing stuff. And when it sucks that whole tank in there, all I'm going to do is close this valve, open this valve here, and let it run for about 20 minutes just to wash all the fertilizer out of the emitters. And that's how I've been fertilizing my garden. Well, the in-ground garden with the drip irrigation, which I have in my watermelon patch out there also. I just have to unhook this hose and run a water hose out there to hook up. I got an old hose I run out there to hook up to that one, which I'm going to give him a shot after I get through doing this morning. I've seen a lot of different ways. I played around with this for 3 years now. And the best one I had was the little fuel pump. But then this winter, I was thinking about getting one of these pumps, and I started seeing the whole little system here was on sale. I think this winter I got that for like $45, the pump, tank, and all. But then I got an extra one for a sprayer because I don't need the one, so now I got an extra one out of buying it and putting it on here this way. But as y'all can see, this here is the purple boy. This is my first year to grow it. After the rain finally, well, it ain't slowed down. It just got to where it ain't flooding us every time it rains every third day. And we've been getting some sun, and y'all see my tomatoes went to jumping. And they got several tomatoes on here. But I'm wanting to see more blooms than I'm actually seeing. And that's why today I'm giving it a shot of the 10-30-20. Or I was using the Master Blend. I can't remember the numbers on it. It's the tomato formula that I was using in my hydroponic buckets. Which the thing is, it has the numbers on it and the end's low, but at the same time you mix calcium nitrate with it, which makes the end come up. And that's where you start getting too much green, when you start getting too much nitrogen. But now that they going and they coming to life, they don't need no more nitrogen. They don't need that N, they need that P and that K. But there's a little shot at the garden. Here's a little shot at one of my, this is the red snapper here. See, it ain't got 5 tomatoes on it, even though they big tomatoes. It needs to be putting on more blooms, which just put on some, but I don't think them didn't do nothing, I don't believe. That right there might turn to a tomato. I need to see more blooms coming on. Ain't near about enough tomatoes on the plants now that they starting to grow. Now the ones that has a lot of tomatoes on them is these 4. This is the Roma tomatoes. Now all 4 of these plants, I would say, is loaded down pretty good. But the rest of my tomatoes, they got tomatoes on them, but they ain't loaded down like what I want to see. So I can tell I done this enough that I got my valve here adjusted pretty good. I might need to open it just a little bit, for this is going down, and this is done gone down to here. And I'm gonna open it just a little bit, because I don't want this to catch up and suck out faster than it's going in there. So I'm gonna let it run and do this until it runs out. And then I'm gonna hook my water hose up and do the same thing to my outside garden. But guys, if you have any questions about this setup, if you like that, you have any questions, please feel free to ask down there in the comments, because I try to reply back to anybody that asks questions. I try to reply back to anybody that puts any kind of comment, even if it's an ugly comment. But so far I'm being able to keep up with commenting back. But if you have any questions about this setup and would like to try to build one yourself, like I said, I've been fooling with this for 3 years now, and I think I got it the way I like it. And a solar powered battery charger so far has been keeping that little battery charged. The last 2 times I put fertilizer out, I run a barrel in this garden and a barrel in that garden, and the battery didn't run out of juice. Well, of course I don't do this but about ever. I'm not right on the head on doing this with my time, but I try to do it within 2 weeks, so somewhere around that 8 to 10 days, kind of how it's been falling. And I try to do it as much rain as we getting, just shooting the straight fertilizer in there without the water and then putting a little water behind it. Because, like I said, we've been getting so much rain and kind of starting to sprinkle a little bit right now. But if you like these little videos, and you're learning anything and you haven't never subscribed, please reach down there and hit that subscribe button. It don't cost nothing to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. When you go on your YouTube, it'll have a notification up there that I got up a new video that you can go check out. Because you never know what you might see me doing or experimenting with, and a lot of it I experiment different things and like to pass it on, like on saving the money on the blue stuff. Again, I'll pop a picture up of that, the brand name of it, and you can go check it out. You can buy it from different places. Personally, I had my corner market up here in town. If you right here in Oak Grove, Louisiana, go to the corner market and she ain't got it, all you gotta do is ask her to order it for you and she'll order it, and within that week she'll have it there, and you can buy the big bags of stuff instead of the little bitty expensive bags that's just gonna total up more and more. Every time you buy one, you're gonna end up spending way more money than just buying a big bag to start out with. But anyway, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Hope y'all have a great day and a blessed week. See y'all next time.